I think the thing September 11th made me start thinking about was violence. The image of the towers coming down was certainly the most violent thing I'd ever seen. Almost unprocessable, it was sort of unimaginable, unreal. What I tried to do to make sense of it was to think of violence in very personal terms, very intimate terms, because really that was my only experience of violence, and I couldn't make sense of this huge political event, but I could think about myself, my history, people I knew. I remember when Abu Ghraib happened, and I think that was really the inspiration for Dying City. The intersection of sex and violence in American culture is something that I can talk about in very intimate personal terms, but that really does have relevance now with the scandal and horror of Abu Ghraib on a broader, larger scale. I wouldn't expect politicians to help us process deep trauma. I wouldn't expect movies and TV really to do it. The potential for the deepest exploration of this stuff is through the less popular arts, where there's less profit to be made, there's more freedom. I've certainly felt that freedom. And I think what I can do is go to the deepest part of myself, represent it, try to make sense of it, and hope that my trying to make sense of what confuses and challenges and upsets me will allow someone else to do the same. I hope that honesty awakens honesty in others, and that's really what I'm banking on as an artist. On the morning of 9/11, I was actually at my writing desk. I live on the Lower East Side on the 6th floor of a building that behind me is a school and a park, so it's really just a single-story building and open space. And I always had a beautiful, perfect view of the World Trade Center. I actually did see the first plane go into the building. And it was a shocking thing to see. And my father, I called him, he was dying at the time, or he had leukemia, he died 4 or 5 months later. And I spoke to him and tried to make sense of what was happening. And I remember the black hole getting bigger and bigger as the fire was eating away at the building. I think, well, that's like my father's body, it's what's happening inside of him, something's eating away at him. So I saw it in personal terms, in a certain sense, from the beginning. Once I saw the second plane go in actually on TV. I watched it on TV and then turned my head and saw the fireball finish with my naked eye. At that point, although I had recognized something horrible had happened, I think at that point I went into denial. I had an appointment in Midtown, and I actually got on the subway to go about my day. And it was sort of midway on my journey that I thought, what did you just do? You knew something horrible was happening. Why did you get on the subway? That period of denial remains very frightening to me, that for 15 or 20 minutes I seemed to be able to disavow what I'd seen. We process everything through our own histories, our traumas, our intimate lives, our past. Whatever we might decide intellectually about a political issue, the thing I think we can never fully know is the mystery of ourselves. 9/11 has come to represent something about myself inside of me that I'm still trying to come to terms with. And I imagine through the rest of my life, as both a person and an artist, I will be attempting to come to terms with.